talked to Tupac in person, and then 3 days later, he gets murdered. Where were you at when you found out the news, and what happened after you found that out?
I was at the studio with Daz, and Nate Dogg called us. And he actually, see, a lot of people don't know when they talk about Pac living and all this stuff, like we had so much information and so much proof that he had got, you know, shot. It was like, we knew he was shot. Snoop even went to the hospital. I wanted to go, but he told me they wouldn't have let me in. So he went, he saw him, he told me, like, Pac's not doing good, Bad Azz. But Nate Dogg was the first one to call, and he saw the shooting. So a lot of people don't know that, and these are always things that during the time and when it was heavy and, you know, they got investigations going on, they asked a lot of people questions, but it's a lot of stuff that people didn't want to talk about. But Nate Dogg told me personally that he saw the car, which everyone said was a Cadillac that we all know, and he mentioned that, but even to me, he told me he couldn't identify the shooter. He said he saw an arm and a gun. So that's like, who could identify a person from that unless they seen a significant tattoo or something, you know? But Nate Dogg was in either a car or two behind him, and he watched them get shot. So, you know, when he called and said the news, he didn't say Tupac was shot, they're gonna live. He said Tupac and Suge Knight was dead. That was the first news I got. And then later, we got another call that said Suge was alive, Pac is alive, but he's in critical condition and all that stuff. So that was just the news. And I was sitting at the studio with Daz, and we was recording, and we were just already on a uncomfortable vibe from everything that was going on around that time.
So Nate Dogg actually witnessed the shooting. He saw the car, he saw the actual shooter's hand, everything. He was right there, huh?
Yeah, the Outlaws too. The Outlaws as well. You know, they wasn't, I don't know, they wasn't too big on telling the story too much, but I know they told me, and they said that, you know, they seen what Nate Dogg said he seen, and they was like, actually, I think their car was in front of Nate's or vice versa, but those two cars, Nate Dogg was in one and the Outlaws was in the other cars directly behind Pac and Suge. So they was following them to wherever, I think they was going to Suge's club, but they were following them and they witnessed it. So, you know, that's just stuff like that happened, and it brought the whole establishment down. So, you know, at that point, who wants to make music around those conditions? And we come from the streets, but we didn't, even me personally, I didn't start making music and do everything. I didn't stop selling crack to make music to get into shootouts with rappers. You know? That's dumb. Yeah. Like, that's stupid. And, you know, I feel like you don't wanna try to prove to the hip-hop industry that you're the toughest guy in the world when you left the streets to become an artist. So my point is, like I said, I didn't leave the streets to get involved in all that, and that's how some of my friends feel too. You know, they didn't do this stuff to you know, to leave the trash and get out of the trash to come to, you know, a luxury life and have to deal with the negativity that we deal with sometimes. So, you know, God bless everybody that was a part of it and had a negative outcome, and God bless the people who got out of it. And you know, may we continue to keep living beautiful and doing good music and bringing stuff to the world that people love, you know? I got some new stuff I'm gonna put out with Pac. You know, I haven't, it makes me upset that he's been gone for this long and no new rappers, and not because they can't, because, you know, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to get a clearance, but a lot of these cats don't know. You got to go to mom. You got to talk to his real estate, the people who, you know, really, really, really are over 2Pac's music and art right now. And you can get clearances. You know, his mom loved his music, and she, you know, if the right person gets at him, or a new artist that has a song that's nice, that she puts her ears on and she feels it, they'll definitely, you know, do what they could do to get you a clearance. But I'm gonna just drop some new stuff with Pac. I got some new stuff I've been working on for myself, and I just want to hit the rap game another time again real hard and give them some fly stuff. I feel like, you know, the game has always been dope to me, but I feel like a few people, a few of the main people, and you know, some of the talented artists, they do keep the integrity in the music, but I feel like we lost a little bit of integrity, and I think that some people forgot why we really doing this, you know?
How many actual Tupac vocals do you have that you're gonna make, you know, songs out of?
Oh, I actually have, I have one unreleased verse, and I have several others acapellas that have came out, but I end up getting the acapellas on purpose because I wanted them, because I want to do some sample style stuff where I have maybe Pac on the hook, you know? I haven't actually, I created one, I got one. It's not something that I'm too adamant about putting out like right away. It's a good song, it's really grimy to me. It's not like the kind of stuff you'll hear on the radio, you know? And I really want to do something more bright, more happy, more, you know, mainstream, Bad Azz and 2Pac, something for the radio with him on the chorus or something fly. But, you know, that's in the making. And I like I said, I got a couple ideas. I got some stuff set to the side, some beats and some ideas that I got. I did, I took a little piece of one of his lyrics from my new record on this song called Razor Blade Game. It says, my main thing's to be major paid with game sharper than a motherfucking razor blade. So it's tight. I took that little part and added some stuff to it. But I always hold Pac down, even sometimes a little more than Snoop, because Snoop is my mentor. That's my, you know, that's my Dr. Dre. That's the guy who put me in the game. And I feel like he always deserves it. Big shout out to Snoop Doggy Dogg and the Dog Pound right now. But I say, I have to hold Pac down because he's dead. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to give it up for him every day. I'm Tupac'd out for whatever reason, you know? So I try to just keep his name alive and his essence, as well as, you know, the fans and the other people that love him. Hip-hop love him. So even if I wasn't here to say nothing about Tupac, hip-hop gonna uphold him high, so I appreciate that. But I just always like to kick my stories about him and keep the, you know, the energy of Tupac in the room at all times, and just let people know he was a great, and a lot of these kids wouldn't even have a job if it wasn't for him.
I've kissed him, and he's a good kisser, and that's all I'm gonna say for that.
Yeah, he's a good kisser.
He's an excellent kisser, probably one of the best I've ever had.
I'm not gonna lie, man. To be non-biased, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's been like 4 or 5 days, man. It's like, I don't know. It might be a little too late. I don't know, man. It depends on how hard he come. He gotta come with some ether type shit, man.